Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Zone to Speak podcast. I'm your host, Juliana. This episode of Zone to Speak is supported by Peloton, the ultimate sunscreen for athletes. If you know me, you know I never leave the house without sunscreen, and Peloton is my go-to. It's lightweight, breathable, and designed for endurance sports, perfect for any day out on the saddle. And because they are supporting the podcast, you get 20% off your order. Just head to the link in the show notes and use the code ZONE2SPEAK at checkout. Protect your skin, fuel your adventures, and support the pod while you do it. All right. Today on Zone to Speak, we are talking about freedom, the kind that happens when you are deep in the mountains, miles from the nearest town, and your bike starts making a horrible noise, and you suddenly realize you are completely on your own. Because whether you're racing, bikepacking, commuting, or exploring, every cyclist eventually faces the same question. Am I prepared for what's about to happen? My guest today is Peter Eisenegger from DaySaver. Peter represents a brand that has quietly become a favorite among bikepackers, gravel riders, ultra racers, and adventure cyclists, not only because they are selling the most exciting products in cycling, but because they are solving a problem every rider understands. How do you stay prepared without carrying your entire garage on your bike? But this conversation isn't really about just tools. It's about adventure, self-sufficiency, confidence. And it's about why some of the best cycling experiences happen when you leave the comfort zone and head somewhere with no backup plan. So let's get into it. Welcome to the pod, Peter.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
My pleasure. People often assume that everyone working in cycling spends every weekend riding epic mountain passes. So before we dive into DaySaver, who is Peter on a bike?
Well, certainly not someone who spends the whole weekend on the bike, but I like to ride on a regular basis. So either with a mountain bike, with my friends, when it's more, about the fun, playful approach. But I also like riding my road bike, gravel bike, but then it's maybe more, let's say, performance priority, workout, the challenges, all these smaller or bigger mountains we have in Switzerland. So that's what I like.
Nice. I love that type of cycling. I used to be super competitive, and now I just needed to reconnect with my bike on just having fun.
Yeah, exactly. And just, feeling yourself when you're climbing something steep and yeah, that's what I like about it. It's always a bit about the challenge.
Yeah, for sure. It's not, having fun doesn't mean easy. It's always good to have a challenge. And it feels so good when you overcome challenges or you get to your goals, but it doesn't have to be structured or FTPs and all that, which there's nothing wrong with it. I think I'm just trying to enjoy this phase without feeling guilty, because when you come from racing, there's a little bit of guilt on not training.
Well, I don't come from racing, but I believe you. I know what you mean. I think, it's always finding, the balance between the challenge and still enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah. And most people in the bike industry started as a rider long before they worked in the cycling industry. How did the cycling first become part of your life, and what keeps you riding today?
Well, I don't know. I think shortly after I could walk, I was riding a bike. So in my days, it was normal. All the kids were riding bikes. So it became just a part of my life from the very beginning. I think as a child, it's maybe more being out and about and playing and that kind of stuff. And then I lived for quite some time in the city of Zurich. So the bike became my preferred mean of transport, because, yeah, I mean, it's just the best in a city. You're
It
fast, you're
is.
flexible. Sometimes it's a bit dangerous depending on the city,
Yes.
but yeah, I liked it very much. So I was riding actually all the time, and now I think it's more the fun part has come back a bit. I mean, there are so many options in cycling, and everything should be fun, I think. And it keeps me in shape. It's a good way to do workouts while still having fun while being out. So yeah, maybe the focus has changed, but cycling has always been important in some ways for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I love about cycling because it has so many meanings and you can just adjust the bike to your life for commuting, like you said, for fun, for racing. You can do road, gravel, mountain bike. There's just so many facets of cycling. So so flexible.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think
Yeah.
there's something for everybody in cycling. You just need to try it out and find out what you like.
Yeah. Yeah. If you had a completely free day tomorrow, what ride would you choose? Road, gravel, mountains?
Hmm. Well, depends. Either mountains, a nice tour with my friends. That's always fun. It's always a challenge, but always very satisfying when you're having a beer afterwards. So that's really nice. Or maybe doing one of the famous passes in the Alps, be it in Switzerland, be it in France, you name it. So that would also be a nice adventure. Yeah, but it's
Nice.
I'm always having a hard time deciding. It depends a bit on my daily mood what I would choose. But these two things would be nice to do. Yeah, definitely.
It must be so nice to have all those mountains as your playground.
It really is. We're blessed in Switzerland. I mean, I live near Zurich, which is not the mountain area, but still, I mean, I can leave my apartment, and I have so many options just in front of my door. And even if you go a bit further, I mean, it's endless. So it's really Switzerland. Yeah, you're lucky if you're here and like riding bikes. There's so many opportunities. That's nice, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk DaySaver. So when people are buying a tool, they are not just buying a tool, they are buying freedom, right? That can get them peace of mind if something happens. What do you think DaySaver is actually selling more than tools?
We like to think of ourselves as a problem-solving brand, and I think that puts it quite nicely. Because, as you said, people don't buy tools; they buy peace of mind or preparation in case something happens. But what they want to do is go out and have fun. And I think that's what we're trying to support with DaySaver, giving the good feeling of knowing to be prepared if something happens, but not needing to think about it, because, yeah, you are prepared. And I think that's obviously in the end, it's tools and pumps and everything. But when you think about the brand purpose and the brand promise, then I think it's actually that, and we're trying hard to provide that, making our products reliable and easy to use, and maybe even fun to use, depending on how talented you are. But yeah, you put it correctly in the beginning. It's we're selling peace of mind. That's actually what we're trying to provide. Totally.
Yeah. No, and your tools are beautiful. For me, makes a difference. Makes me want to, get down
Yeah,
and
thank you
dirty
very
with my
much.
bike.
Yeah, I think design has many aspects. Product design, it's
Yeah.
about functionality, it's about usability, but also, I mean, it should be nice to look at. It should be, as I said, somehow
Agree.
nice to use it.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a requirement we're having, or we want to achieve and fulfill is that our products are looking well thought out until the minor details. And obviously we're providing premium products at a premium price, but then I think they also deserve to be, designed and thought out to the very end. And I'm happy if you say that you can see and feel that in our products. So it
Yeah,
makes me happy.
absolutely. And well said that, of course, that has to be functional. Obviously, it has a purpose, it has to fulfill that purpose, but why not also design it that it also looks pretty,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost more. Well, yeah.
And it's nice just to have a little bit of a fun
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
I totally agree. And I think if you look at our ranges, our products, I think you can see like a design language somehow, and a style. But in the end, above all, is functionality and usability. But I think the art is to bring it all together and make it look nicely at the same time. So yeah, and it's not always easy, but we're trying.
Yeah. And speaking of design, of course, ultra distance cyclists are ruthless when it comes to what they carry. Every gram has to justify itself. So, do you think ultra racers connect with DaySaver so quickly because of that? Can you tell me a little bit more of the tools? Like if someone haven't heard of DaySaver and they want to buy some of the tools, just talks us through it.
Sure. I think what you just mentioned is definitely for ultra racing a key aspect, the weight. So what we're trying to do is to provide workshop quality in a weight and size and form factor that you can take it with you on your rides. And we try to provide that in a modular way. Because, I mean, you know that if you talk to 10 cyclists, what kind of tools they need or want and how they want to carry it, you get 15 opinions. So that's one thing. And the other thing is what we've been talking about in the beginning. There are so many different kinds of riding, and you don't need always the same kind of equipment. So, and we strongly believe that you shouldn't be forced to buy several tools for several purposes. We believe that it's a better idea to offer the customers the opportunity to assemble, the equipment as they need it for their adventure. And I think that's what describes DaySaver best. Probably this obviously this approach of quality and usability, but also giving riders the freedom to choose how they want to set up their equipment and how they want to carry it on themselves, on the bike, in the bike, you name it.
Yeah. Do you think the tools can enable cyclists to have this peace of mind to actually be more adventurous and even go further? I know it's a concern. Some people are like, I don't want to have a flat or I don't want something wrong to happen and I cannot get home.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But no, you're right. There are riders, scared of needing to fix something. And I mean, I have to say, I'm a terrible mechanic. So it's really the horror. But still, I mean, I think in the end, if you're confident that you have with you what you need to not only get there, but also back, then I think it provides some sort of confidence, maybe to do something that you didn't dare before. But then again, I mean, it depends on what kind of personality you are. Are you willing to take some risks or not? But actually, that's one of our goals to give our customers this good feeling, this gut feeling that you think, I don't know, it's fine, I can do that, and in case something happens, I have everything with me. Yeah, if they become more adventurous, maybe over time, who knows?
Yeah. Speaking of adventure, I think adventure cycling has exploded globally. I don't know if it was just the pandemic, but it has this this big boom has happened. Why do you think so many people are searching for adventure on a bike right now?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Hey, I think there are several different aspects I think we should consider for this question. For one, we have so many opportunities and so many gadgets we use in our lives. And I mean, that's even happening in the bike industry, but still. And I think it's a very, um, very true, very genuine experience riding a bike, because in the end, it's you and your bike on the road, on the trail, or whatever. And I think people can relate to that. So that's certainly one aspect. And then again, it's a trend. I mean, biking has become so huge. If you look back 30 years, there were only nerds going with their mountain bikes, hardly
Yeah.
having a suspension or something like that. I remember I moved here 18 years ago, and when I went out with my road bike, I maybe encountered one, two, three other riders. And I don't know, a month ago when I went out on a Saturday or Sunday, there were tons of riders. So I think, yeah, it's become a trend as well. And as it grew, the market itself, I think it became also a bit more fashionable. You can see people are buying nice bibs and shirts and shoes and
True.
sunglasses and everything. So maybe that's a bit a Swiss thing or a Zurich thing, but I think it's a nice way to, live whatever aspects you like on a hobby. But yeah, it's hard to nail it to one specific reason. But I think that won't change. So people are riding, and the industry is growing regardless of the problem that exists in the industry. I think people enjoy that, being out and riding.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree on the fashion. I think it's not a Zurich or a Swiss thing. I think at least everywhere I have been, everyone is looking sharp. Everyone wants to look pro, have the right length socks, you know, the right
That's
color.
yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. No. It's not. It's not just a Swiss thing, and it's really it's obvious. So maybe more a roadie thing than a mountain bike thing. But still, if you look at the dresses they are wearing, so in the bike parks, it has
Yeah.
arrived there as well. So,
Yeah, I think so.
but
Mountain
still,
bikers are catching the bug.
oh, totally in their nice white or red dresses and overalls and you name it. Yeah, but I think a bicycle is something super simple. And the nice thing about the bicycle is you can just grab it, go out and go, depending a bit on where you're living, but still. It doesn't need much of preparation if you don't have to charge your shifting and stuff like that. And I think, yeah, that's also maybe something people like. It's in the end of the day, it's fashionable and everything, but it's simple.
Yeah. Yeah. But you touched something that brings me to my next question. Yes, cycling can be so simple, right? Just even you don't need to have the right shoes. You can just have flat pedals, put a helmet on, and go. But some cyclists can spend hours on end about tire pressure, this and that. And what do you think makes cyclists so obsessed with equipment? Because we just said it can be so simple, but it can also be so complicated with charging power meters, charging shift gears, charging your lights, charging your bike computer,
Pumps.
pumps, electric pump. Also, that has to be charged. The list goes on.
Hey, no, you're right. You're right. Hey, I'm having a hard time relating to this because at some point, I don't know. I think people do it because they can. because there is the option to choose. Because maybe also they have access to so many information also about pros, about the racing. Racing has become open and available to all amateurs, to all riders who want to
Yeah.
compete. And then, I mean, if it's just the massive amount of choices that people can make, and then they do it. I personally, I'm not such a good rider. I don't feel the difference between half a bar or 10 psi, more or less, in my tires, But I see people arguing about, no, it has to be precisely this and this. And hey, I don't want to judge this. I mean, if people really can feel that, okay, fair enough. But yeah, there are some trends I don't understand. Because I don't see what they add to the experience, actually. But that's a very, puristic point of view. Maybe many people see that differently. So I think it's really because they can. There are so many options. There are lots of people who have money and like to spend it on the details. And honestly, bikes don't develop that much anymore in terms of geometry and things that really make a difference. So I think, okay, you take the next best thing and start looking at the details. So that's my educated
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, a lot of people also wants to have the latest and greatest, which again, there's nothing wrong with it. And I was smiling when you were talking about PSI, and I'm with you. I'm not judging anyone. I think it's amazing if you know exactly what you need, or if you're trying to figure out what you need. But I, I mean, I'm not the fastest or the strongest, and I feel like I don't have time for this. I just want to ride my bike. So I just fill it up and I touch and feel, feels good, looks good. I'm going. But I'm not going to name names. I've been on a ride once with a famous F1 driver, retired now, and he stopped so many times for the exactly PSI. And I'm like, of course, he's a F1 driver, so maybe, he's really into that. I'm not going to say anything, but I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to go on a ride again with this guy. It's just too many stops.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, as you said, if you feel that and you see that your performance is different, then okay, great. But honestly, if I climb with my road bike for, I don't know, 1 hour or 45 minutes steep, hey, I'm suffering anyway. If I pump a bit more or less, so I don't feel a difference, and to me it doesn't matter. But and the other thing is, I think people like spending money on gadgets, to be honest. So that's my only explanation for the existence of electric pumps, to be honest, because I don't see what kind of problem they are solving. But again, I mean, everybody as he likes, so fair enough. But sometimes I just have a laugh and think, okay,
Yeah.
if you like it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I do like the electric pump because it's just much easier on the arm, but you always carry the old fashioned pump as a backup. Anyways, at least I do, because I'm like
Yeah.
paranoid with like, what if it runs out of battery and then I don't have anything? So the manual is there as a backup. So yeah, at the end of the day,
Uh, I understand, and that's correct. I mean, it's a lot easier, but yeah. Then again, I think, okay, if you then as a backup carry with you
your
a
garage.
mechanical pump or a
Yeah.
CO2 cartridge anyway, so what's the point?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because and I think, hey, come on, cycling is in the end still a sport, and if you need to inflate the tire, I don't know, see it as an exercise. So you have a bit,
True,
muscle
true, true.
training. But I also understand people, choosing the lazy or the more convenient way. So it's totally
Yeah.
fine. And I think that's maybe something that is new to the industry and is being more obvious every week. So there are so many options you can choose or not choose. So that what makes it nice and complicated at the same time sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of complexity in modern cycling. Do you think riders are starting to value simplicity again?
Well, maybe some do. Maybe it depends on how you define simplicity. Simplicity in terms of usage, simplicity in terms of design, what we just discussed.
Yeah.
For that, I would say yes. So if you see all the cables being integrated in the frames, et cetera, I mean, from a maintenance point of view, it doesn't make sense at all. But from a design perspective, it's super nice. So yeah, and then again, people buy, as I said, electronic shifts. I mean, okay, many bikes are set up like this and sold like this, so you don't have to have a choice. But that doesn't add simplicity from my point of view. So yes and no, maybe. Again, some of our customers explicitly like our tools because most of them are very simple. It's obvious how to use them and how you should use them. So I think it depends a bit on the type of rider, type of personality, whether they like simplicity or not. But in general, my impression is that people like having a choice, and if you like having a choice, you need to deal with complexity at some point. But we've learned, for example, our concept of modularity also comes with a certain complexity. So you need to understand what kind of, let's say, carrying options we provide and what the advantages and disadvantages are. And once people understand that, they really like it because it gives them freedom. But it means, some kind of work to understand it. And that's what we learned and now respect with new products, where we try to take this work part away from our customers and provide them simplicity by putting together combinations that make sense for different types of riders. So I think when it comes to making life easier for people, then simplicity is highly appreciated. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Can you tell me a little bit about like the best-selling products for that you have, just so for listeners that might be interested, just to know what exactly you are selling?
The best-selling product is definitely the Essential 8 multi-tool. So the Allen key-shaped multi-tool with the nested bits. I think it's because it's easy to understand. So everybody knows an Allen key. Everybody understands the advantages of this form factor. And once people get it in their hands, they just like, the haptic impression you get, the feedback you get when you flip the bits, etc. So that's really nice. And plus, it provides basically everything you need from a multi-tool. So this is our bestseller, and what people very often choose is the combination of the Essential 8 with our co-working 6 TL. So that provides you a tire lever and the chain breaker and the tubeless tool. Because with that, you have pretty much everything you need to cover basically what can happen on a ride. And then, so I would say that's, if you have those two tools, you're good to go. And then it's up to you how you want to take it with you. We have a very popular combination with a case where you can put in these tools, and you can put it in the jersey pocket or pants pocket, or even mount it on your bike. I would say when it comes to combinations, that's the most popular combination because it covers, as the name says, the essentials that you need.
Yeah.
And I think the new products that are coming out now, our pump together with the new multi-tool, which is a really complete solutions with tire levers and tubeless tool as well, stowed in the pump. I think I personally, that's my favorite when I go out riding with my road bike because it's so small and compact. I just put it in my jersey pocket and I know I will get back for sure. So I would say these two combinations are really popular.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think anyone listening, go check out DaySaver. They have a lot of cool stuff. Your products reach many places, incredible places around the world. Do you have any cool message or story that you have received from a writer using DaySaver?
I have to say we receive many feedbacks. It's and very positive feedbacks. That's the nice thing. We'd like to think of our customers as fans. So there are many, but just recently, a couple of days ago, a woman, and that's a really nice thing. But there are so many men in cycling, and so I'm particularly happy if a woman is using our tools. And she was doing ultra race, and she was just sending us a message, thanking us for our tools because literally we saved her ass on a race. That's what she wrote. And that was really nice because it was an unsolicited feedback, and you could genuinely feel that she was really happy that she had our tools with her. And that's a really nice moment. It's a reward for also not so nice moments, as you can imagine, when you build a company. It's not always happy life. And if you get such kind of feedbacks, that's really nice. Yeah. So people seem to appreciate what we provide. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a big believer on sharing positive feedback because we are so quick to complain when something goes wrong, but nobody usually takes the time to share when something goes right. And that's important
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Because, yeah, you always have to think what people invest in trying to provide a good solution, whatever it might be. So I think there's hardly anyone trying to provide crap. I mean, there's also crap out there, but you should give them the benefit of the doubt. And
Yeah.
even if you see a problem or you're not happy, I mean, that can happen. And we're always happy to receive constructive feedback as well. And I have to say, we have many customers with really nice feedback, good ideas. So I think we've built a community that helps us. We try to help them, but they also, I think they feel that and give it back in terms of good feedbacks. Not only, thank you, but also, hey, have you ever thought about that or this? And we really appreciate that. I think it's two-way communication.
Yeah. We all have blind spots, and nothing better than someone using the product to say how, could be even better. It could be improved or something. I mean, but like you said, of course, if you ask 10 cyclists a question, you're going to get 15 different answers. But it's always good to have constructive feedback. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Very well said. Yeah.
We are wrapping up now, and I like to do what I usually do with some of my guests, fire chat round.
Okay.
All right. Gravel, road, or mountain bike?
Usually road, but why not mountain bike?
Biggest ride you have ever done?
I think that was the 8 or 9 hours mountain bike tour in the Alps with my friends last year, and I was completely done afterwards. But it was an excellent adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, for a mountain bike, that's a lot of hours. Yeah.
Yeah, climbing.
Favorite place you have ever ridden?
That's a hard one in Switzerland. I like the Valais in Switzerland very much, but also the trails around Santa Cruz are really nice just for going out a day and ride. And never knowing what comes after the next turn. So I like that.
The surprise element. Yeah, that's fun.
Exactly.
One item you never leave home without on a
My
ride,
cell
of course.
phone. My cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Coffee stop or keep rolling?
Keep rolling.
What's always in your jersey pocket?
Our pump and our new tool, because it gives me just a good feeling.
One cycling trend you secretly love?
I don't secretly love it, but I love to watch how it's being perceived in the market and how it's looking for its spot. It's the 32-inch wheel trend, right? It's entertaining.
One cycling trend you don't understand?
Electronic shifting.
Wow, that's a big one. Mechanical issue you are best at fixing?
As I said, I'm a terrible mechanic, so
You
I'm
did
I'm
say
not good
that.
at anything. But I would say I'm capable of fixing the most common things and get back home, but I'm really terrible.
What is one mechanical issue you hope it never happens?
Well, anything you can't fix on the trail, I think then you're done and need to go home. A friend of mine recently, his suspension has blown up completely. So, and I really never want to experience that. So
Yeah,
I would say everything around frame and components like that. So that would be really nasty.
those are big ones. Yeah, nasty.
Mm,
Titanium, steel, or carbon?
titanium.
Me too. Favorite country to ride bikes?
Well, I have to say Switzerland, sorry.
Obviously.
I
And last but not least, what makes a perfect cycling day?
think when you're back, you're exhausted but happy, and having a coffee or a beer or whatever with your friends, I think that makes probably the perfect cycling day.
Yeah, well said. You just described the feeling. Peter, thank you so much for coming to Zone to Speak. I'm so happy to have you and continue to make beautiful tools at DaySaver. I will share with everyone the website and the Instagram. So everyone listening, please check it out.
Thank you very much for this nice conversation, Juliana. And yeah, we'll try our best.
Sounds good. And that's all for today's episode. I want to thank the listeners for tuning in. Your support means everything. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends.